Winning. I've outsmarted you on a number of levels. Beta. Well, actually, King's not. Beta.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to go in there and slap your face.
You know, we're going to rise like the phoenix. And
Get in my limousine. Ride on 85. Get in my Learjet. Woo!
Welcome to the Asterisk Inclusion Podcast. You have King himself, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Grizz.
Woo! What's up, y'all?
Our other compadre, Nate Gate, is a little under the weather.
He's got Watson fever, he told me.
Watson fever. It's spreading. Watch out. CDC's coming out with a warning. Well, how are you doing, Grizz?
Good. I'm just happy Green Bay is in array. It's it's a weird year, and it's NFL is ongoing. It's like the best ongoing drama, and the league kind of follows suit to that. And I think there's some winds changing. And you look at across our league, the teams that were really hot the first 2 or 3 weeks, some of them have kind of fizzle, and Drill's been hot, and I wonder if he can hold on to it. Drill's, I'm sure, is a little sketchy, scared, but Drill does look good still, and I wonder how Al, LTD, and Gatos will hold up in the long haul. And we've talked about this before, but correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we have like 5 teams in it up into the very last game last year, or like at least 4?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy last year. I thought it was the most teams we've ever had, like, competitive, like, that were actually in it. To be honest, like, at this point, I'm willing to say it's between Drill and Nate Gate. I mean,
you think about it though, because I've seen some weird stuff happen late, and let's just say Drill loses Jefferson to a hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a little bit of a lead, but anything's possible still. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I'm starting Fields over Allen. That's crazy. I mean, who would have thought that at the beginning of the year? So, and NFL's fun. I enjoy it. There's some great matchups this week. And actually, if you want to start getting into the weekly matchups, just do a quick recap from last week.
Yeah, we can do just a real quick rundown of last week. Let's see, Drill versus LTD. Drill came out on top of that. 126.
Close one.
Yeah, 126 to 119.
That was just, all that really was Patrick Mahomes outplaying Prescott, and Jefferson's has been a beast. And the rest of Drill's team, his big three are saving his ass. I mean, you look at Patrick Mahomes, Jefferson, and Diggs, there's 100 points right there. The rest of his team was pretty shitty. And I thought he was going to have a bad week. He really is. His big three are just monsters this year. And that's, if he wins the championship, that's why.
Yeah, I've said before, and I'll say it again, you only need 3 or 4 players to win the whole thing. The rest are just kind of window dressing. But let's jump into a grudge match of Gatos versus Huza. Gatos slapped Huza around 116 to 91. Whew, unbelievable.
Let me see here. I'm trying to pull this one up. There it is. Yeah, that was I didn't really, no shocker there, really. I think Ryan's actually, on paper, you look at his team, he's got a very solid team. I think where Ryan lost out this year, and the reason why he won't be in it, I think if he does not win it, is because he should have made some bigger trades. He traded some smaller players, but Ryan had he should have gone after a quarterback earlier. He should have traded 1 or 2 of his running backs away. And I think if he did that week 3 or 4, he'd probably have another ring on his finger.
Well, that's Ryan, man.
We know how Ryan is.
Yeah, just gonna sit on his hands like, Cam Akers is worth so much. Ooh, nothing.
Yeah. Who's the next one you got?
First and goal and Tuna. Curls put up some good numbers here, 141 to 113.
I think I picked first this week. I kind of thought he had some decent chances. Barkley's been beast for him. Devontae Adams. I mean, Tua, like he liked Tua a lot at the draft, and I really didn't know what to make of it. I think Tua is just playing well typically because he's got some of the best skill position players in the league, and he's probably got the two best wide receivers in the league. So, and Goal had a good week.
Yeah. Let's jump into this shit show. Magic Mike versus Oracle, 88 to 87.
We're a points team, but you still hate and just you got to just grind your teeth and you lose like that because I think Oracle's fine. He's going to make the playoffs, but that win's huge for Magic Mike. That gives him a chance to get into the playoffs. So that's a little bit of pride right there, but. Congratulations to Magic Mike. Oracle is in big trouble, and honestly, go ahead and say it. I think he's done with Cooper Kupp being out.
Yeah, I mean, Kupp's a huge blow to any team.
But don't give up, Oracle. You can always get in the playoffs or something to be said for that. And as long as you get into the playoffs, we've had teams win the playoffs, winning like 110 points every week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, go talk to Who's about that. Let's jump into Nate Gate versus Sleeper. Nate Gate came out 138 to 107.
It's got a good team.
Yeah. Good point production there.
I wanted to point out Devon, where it was Devin Singletary for the Bills. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. Those are the first 2 touchdowns by a Bills running back this year. So I thought that was pretty funny. He did lose a fumble, but Nate had a good chance last week to put up some points, and he did.
That's good. And we got the game of the week, and Fields of Dreams versus King Koopa. You trounced me 158 to 118, and 1 high points for the week.
Yeah, that was nice. You had a decent week. Fields is just, ripping off some huge plays, and that's really the difference right there. And we had a Jonathan Taylor sighting. I remember watching the highlights because I wasn't watching the Colts game in particular because I've just been so frustrated with it. But I remember seeing him bust a long run. I'm like, oh, Jeff Saturday should have been coaching them week 1. What a bunch of morons.
Yeah, maybe coaching in the NFL isn't that hard.
Yeah. It's amazing how you can make a couple. And Matt Ryan came back and started. You talk about dysfunctional. I've never seen something so weird in my life as that organization this year.
Oh, man. Well, let's jump into this week's picks and go through those real fast. Let's see. First game up, I got Dr. Drill versus Magic Mike.
Drill. I don't think Mike's got much of a chance at all. He's got Davis Mills at quarterback. That is a cry for help.
Yep.
Actually, Cordell Patterson's playing the Bears. He could have a 20-30 point week because the Bears' run defense is awful. God, I just don't see how. No. Yeah, he's outgunned almost everywhere. That'll be a 20-point victory.
Oh, 20. I'm picking the biggest blowout of the week here. I got Drill winning this. You got Mahomes, Jefferson. He's full strength. His only probably weakness is tight end, and we all know tight ends are garbage.
That's right.
Yep. Let's see. Next up, we got First and Goal versus Gatos. Keep in mind, we've already had 1 game played, but that's okay. We had Packers versus Tennessee, and Gatos got a little bit of a lead going against First and Goal.
I think Gatos really needs a big game out of Kirk Cousins, and he needs Miles Sanders and Mark Andrews to play. So, Gabriel Davis is very dangerous for Gatos right now. Josh Allen he's not been playing very well. I don't think he even threw a passing touchdown last week. I think maybe he had 1, but he's been throwing picks, not looking like himself. Gold's got a strange roster. It's not pretty, but the Brian Robinson, the Daniel Jones, Cortland Sutton, Van Jefferson now with the Rams, and Cooper Kupp being out. That might be a sneaky game. And the fact that Aaron Jones has already played and not gone off, I'm going to lean towards goal again this week.
Yeah, gold could make up some difference here. But I'm gonna go Gatos on this. I know he's already got Aaron Jones played, put up 12 points, but I mean, as long as he, replaces his kicker. By the way, Gatos, if you're listening to the pod, your kicker's on bye. But I'm going to go Gatos on this. I think Cousins is playing pretty well. Brown against Indy. Maybe if Cook's playing and everything, I'm going to go with Gatos. But who knows? He is terrible.
Yeah, I want to see how the Philadelphia Eagles respond after losing. The Colts have a pretty good defense. Again, that could be a game. I think the Eagles are going to win it, but I want to see how they respond. But I do think that'll be a pretty good game, actually, because the Colts seem to be on a better direction.
All right, let's jump into LTD versus Nate Gate.
This will be a close one.
Well, I mean, according to Yahoo, it's going to be real close, but we know Yahoo's never right. But yeah, on paper, I'd say it looks pretty good.
I'm surprised Nate's up there in points considering because his wide receivers are just awful. He's starting Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson, and more. And the rest of his team looks pretty solid, but that is just horrendous. I thought Cooks was just didn't want to play.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on there. I guess I thought Houston kind of benched him.
Yeah, I don't know but I really wonder what Allen Robinson has got to at least be decent now with Kupp being out.
Oh yeah.
I really want to see how the Rams play. That could be huge for Nate Gate with Kupp going down. It could be a saving grace this year. It depends how well Hurts and McCaffrey play for Nate Gate. I like LTD's team. I just don't like it this week. I'm leaning towards Nate.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm looking at Nate's team. I think I might go Nate Gate as well. Sorry, LTD. I got to think this is gonna be a week. Allen Robinson just kind of blows up a little bit,
blowing up is a careful word, but I could see. They're predicted at 123. I wouldn't be surprised to see that be in the 110s to 100s. I'd be surprised looking at a roster to see both of them have really solid weeks.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. But I kind of like Nate Gate's potential more. If Cooks is playing, Robinson,
yeah.
I just kind of like their potential more than some of the players on LTD's got. But
yeah, he's got a higher ceiling, that's for sure.
Yeah. Let's jump into Tuna and Oracle, and this is kicked off.
You have to. Tuna's got a big lead already. 55 points to two players. I think anybody would take that right now. It's not pretty, but Henry played great last night. I can't believe Rodgers got 27 points out of that game because he only had 2 touchdowns and played awful, but he still got 27 points is nice. It's not great, but it's good.
I'll take that.
Foreman for Carolina. Of course, he's the best running back in the NFL right now. And I had Chuba. That's been a huge pickup to Tuna as the Foreman pick. Let's see here. Nick Chubb, Williams, Burrow. If you looked at this at first, I would probably lean a little bit more towards Oracle, but because we already know that Tuna's got 56 points basically, I think Tuna's probably going to get about 60 or 70 points somewhere in there, and I think he's going to win.
Yeah. See, looking at this, I might actually go with Oracle on this. With Chubb and Williams in Detroit, Burrow against like kind of like a that's a rivalry game against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's not been that great this year. I don't
I want
know.
to see how Chubb plays against Buffalo. That's going to be very interesting. Chubb just runs people over, and Buffalo's got a very good defense, and it's at Buffalo. Well, not at Buffalo. So that's one of those games that just announced it may be in Detroit, may move the time. These winter storms are going to mess up fantasy. So get ready, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo is supposed to be at home, but they're in Detroit, and well, I don't know if that's going to be much of an advantage for Buffalo. We'll see though. But I'm going to go with Oracle. I think he can make up the difference and like squeak out a win. I don't know how many more points Tuna's got left in him. I mean, he's starting off hot, but if he finishes with 120, 125, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And that's not an unbeatable score. Let's jump down to your game. We got Fields of Dreams versus the Sleeper. And you're starting off pretty good in this one. Oh, Watson Fever.
Yeah, Watson's he's got 5 touchdowns. I wish I had it from last week. He blew up, but had a good feeling about the game. I think when Rodgers finds something he likes, he sticks to it. I've watched him for years, and I hate him, but because he's on the opposite team. But I know his tendencies, and I knew that would be a good play. And I'm not saying Watson will be good all year long, but if Rodgers likes you right then and there, and he's hitting you in the end zone, stick with him. I like my matchups this week. I think he be getting on track, but it may be too late. We'll see how everything goes here. I even like my tight end, actually. I think he'll be pretty good this week. I look at Sleeper's roster. He's got a lot of names. He's really savvy. I wish he would bench Pitts and just toss that guy to the wind like I did. Najee Harris has hurt him this year. I don't even know what Kamara will do against the Rams. But Tony is a nice little pickup, and he could have a huge week because Kansas City's starting 2 wide receivers are out. I think Valdes-Scantling and Juju are out, so Tony could have a really big week, and Higgins could have a big week because isn't Chase still hurt?
I think so. I think he's still banged up.
I don't like Murray at San Francisco that much. I don't think they really typically get into high scoring matchups. And it's Murray and Hopkins are listed as questionable, but I think that could be a pretty close matchup. But I think because Watson had a pretty good week, I do think I'll get in the 130, 140 range. And I think because of that, I'll squeak it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you as well. Fields. I mean, you got players that are hot right now. You got Fields is hot. Taylor from last week is now hot. Yeah. Jacobs has been hot all season. It seems like. Those are some good players that will. I think you have a really good chance. I think you might actually go pass. I think you're hitting your stride, and like you said before, unfortunately, it's a little too late. I think. Because what you're kind of putting up last week is kind of what I was thinking you were going to be putting up the whole season, but
Yep, it's all about timing.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. And so I got you winning that. And I'm going to call this again game of the week grudge match. Who's of us versus the King?
I'd like to go out and say we need maybe a challenge. We need a bet, a wager, because you guys are. You got 2 championships. Mansook does not. He won a playoff game, and that was the best year of his life. But we need to have some type of text thread. So we need some text thread magic between you two about this game. Maybe a free yum yum meal next time in Greensboro. We got to sit there and videotape it with the commission. We need something fun.
Oh, I mean, I do love some yum yums. I mean, if Huza can
all you can eat yum yum.
All you need, baby. Put who's in the poorhouse.
Let's see here. What we got here?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Got Hoover.
Yeah, go
Hoover
figure.
went off.
I mean, go figure. Who's the Titan Whisperer? He loves a good tight end, that's for sure, especially when it's on a dude.
Let's see. Keenan Allen supposedly playing. Honestly, looks good. Tony Pollard's been playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Lazard played okay. I mean, his tight end already got points. The Bengals run a bye week, so Mixon's coming back off of bye. He could be playing. I mean, Nixon could be dangerous. If Allen's playing like he's normal,
yeah,
and Lamar Jackson's playing Carolina, dude, I think you may be in a world of hurt this week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the Hooper play, I mean, was shocking. I mean, that's that's 15 more points than I was expecting him to get, So,
2 touchdowns and 36 yards. Hooper, I like Hooper, but man, that's just that's probably the best game he'll have all year long.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he'll never come close to replicating that. It might be his best game of his life. But, we'll see what happens. I'm still going with myself. I'm going to go playing a little, I got CeeDee Lamb. I'm playing Mike Williams. He's supposed to be playing.
That's right. Yeah, they're both playing. So, that would be funny if it comes down. It's an 8:00 game. How awesome would that be? I think we need to have a podcast before the game if it's close and he's got Allen and you got Mike Williams. That could be really epic.
Oh, I will be down for that. I'm going with the rookie Pacheco for Kansas City. Playing a little upside here. I think, he might actually have a pretty big game. Chargers, I don't think really been able to stop.
I don't even think Hilaire's not even around, really, it seems like.
No, Hilaire has regressed to back to where he is, like garbage.
I thought that was a terrible draft pick when they drafted him in round 1. That was a real head scratcher for me.
Yeah.
That was a waste of a pick. But yeah, man, I love it. That's going to be, you guys are projected. He's projected to win. I'm leaning towards Huza. I know you don't want to hear that, but you gambled early in the year. And I think if you do win, you're going to need Komet, Pacheco, and you're going to need Mike Williams to really get involved and get you 20, 30 point weeks, get back into it. But you do have a chance.
Yeah, there's always
Komet's been hot.
Yep, there's always a chance. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. I think let me check the time on this. If you want, I think we got enough time to chat about a little topic if we want,
Let's do it. What you got?
We've touched on like drill choking and how that's a possibility, but I was actually going to talk a little NFL with you. State of quarterbacks like in the NFL right now. I mean, we got somebody like Rodgers, who seems to be on his way out. I mean, Matt Ryan's definitely on his way out. And then we got some up and coming guys. Maybe
new blood.
Gotta love the young bloods. But
there's a lot of guys. You're going to see 4 or 5 quarterbacks. If you go through and look at the NFL, there are so situations. And if you got a decent quarterback right now, it's a quarterback league. But I look at I think the team has some really big trouble, and I'm talking huge trouble. It's the Denver Broncos. I think Russell Wilson I've been watching him play. I go to my place, watch Bears games, and usually there's a bunch of Bronco fans right next to me, and I talk to them quite a bit. They hate him. I mean, and I've watched Russell Wilson. He's had some good players around him. It's not like he's been void of the talent, but his line's not that good. But Russell Wilson is not that fast anymore. He's too short to see over the lineman, and he wants to throw long and try to make big plays. Whatever he's doing, it's just not working. And I wouldn't be surprised in a year. He'll probably play one more year there, but that franchise is in big trouble. And this goes to show you got to be really careful locking up these quarterbacks. Like if the Ravens play Lamar Jackson, huge money, that'll be really interesting to see how that's going to work out because he is a free agent after the year.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think Lamar Jackson will ever win the Ravens a Super Bowl.
He just says I don't think he's able to really throw the ball very well. He takes too long.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, like in a few years, all it's going to take is him losing half a step, and then he gets popped, and it's done. And because his real threat is his legs, and once those go, and it happens with everybody with age. That's just that's just a given.
But I'm worried about Buffalo because I know Ryan had a lot of high hopes. They started off hot, but I wonder if Buffalo has just hit their peak and they're just going to fall apart. They have not played well. Josh Allen, if he does have a major injury, I think they're in big, big trouble.
Yeah.
And then there's you look at like Patrick Mahomes, we're all wondering and questioning how good he really is. I mean, as long as he's playing, I see Patrick Mahomes being in the Super Bowl, near the Super Bowl for the next 7-8 years.
Oh, he's a beast. I'm going to throw a quarterback out there. It's more of a surprise is Geno Smith.
Who would have thought he'd been great? He's playing great this year.
Yeah, he's amazing. Do you think this is something, a one-year blip, or do you think like he might be able to keep this going? Because if he can, like Seattle might be set up because with all the draft picks they got from like Denver for Russell, they got Kenny Walker for running back. They just,
Well, you got a guy who's playing confident. It's like he's not a game breaker, but you have to give it to him. And what's going to be more interesting is to see what they do with his contract. So, if he wants to be paid top dollar quarterback money, you got to let him go. So,
yeah.
I guarantee he's going to get a new contract after the year, either it's with the Seahawks or somebody else. So, I think it really comes down to his market value, what you're willing to give him.
It'll be interesting to see. I think if like the Seahawks play it right, I mean, I think he obviously can win you games. You got DK, you got Lockett at receiver. I mean, if they use those picks and strengthen that defense, they could be like a real force going forward. Provided, like you say, like they can keep Geno's contract in a reasonable amount. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we're just about out of time, but it's been a real pleasure having you on and getting a little NFL and fantasy talk in here.
You got any major predictions this week? Something good's gonna happen?
For fantasy, I'm just hoping.
Or just NFL overall. You got anything you think's gonna pop out this week?
I think I don't know about like anything good, but I do think this week, because Baker's starting for Carolina, a lot of fans, it's kind of weird. A lot of fans have been like hating on PJ Walker, which I know PJ's not great. But they've been doing okay with him. I mean, the whole game plan centered around the running game. I actually think Baker's going to come in and it's going to I think he's going to look bad. And I think it would look like, I think that's going to end the Baker talk.
I think the Ravens are going to win huge.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really see anything big this week in terms of games that are exciting, like Minnesota, Dallas looks to be pretty good. I do think the Bears are going to got a good chance to win this week. I think the Bears and Fields will have a good week against Atlanta. So, what's a player you have that you think is going to blow up this week? Yeah, one particular player you like a whole lot.
Oh man, off the top of my head, nothing really pops out to me. Actually, you know what? I mean, I'm going to go with Fields again. Now that you mentioned it, I think he's kind of on the gravy train right now, and Atlanta sucks. I mean, let's just be honest. Yeah, this is kind of weird. As a Bears fan, I'm like I don't see Chicago. Do you even see them making the playoffs this year?
Oh no, I mean, that never crossed my mind. I don't even hope for it. They're an awful team all the way around, but they're going in the right direction. You can feel the momentum starting to swing, and it all starts at quarterback. And it sounds weird to think that I've not been this happy or excited in years, and they're awful, and it's really weird. I mean, they've been blowing every game. They're in every game, and it's a missed punt or it's interception or a penalty. It's just something weird that happens every week. But they're playing tough, and I like to see that. So you just try to keep that momentum going. But I'll tell you, my player of the week, I think it's going to do really well. And I saw that the Eagles just signed Sue, and I think that's because they're trying to shore up some issues in the middle. But I think John's going to have a big week.
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up there. Who?
I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a big week.
He could be. I mean, like it might have like Jeff Saturday. I mean, I think he going back to running the ball the way he should be, and I think Taylor's going to be back on track. I mean, like you mentioned, like Sue and the Eagles and everything. I'm kind of curious how that defense is going to look. Just overall, like, obviously they're making a push to win the Super Bowl this year, and that's smart. That's the way a team should go. Packers, what not to do. Like,
I mean, the NFC doesn't scare me very much, and honestly, the way it looks right now, it looks like Kansas City to me all the way through. And I wonder who can keep up with it. I mean, the Bills had it at the beginning, but the Bills can still come back. But honestly, if Josh Allen is hurt, he's got a bye week after this week. I would consider benching him for a month if his elbow is bad and seeing what Keenum can do and try to squeeze out 2 wins of Keenum.
I'd be smart. We'll see what happens. Well, Grizz, I'm gonna have to hop off here, but it has been an honor to have you on the pod again. And
we hope Nate gets better and stay warm, guys. It's getting cold.
It is, and don't forget, we're right and you're wrong.
Woo.
See you later.